couple festivities there. Well, we weathered a storm. We almost really weathered it. I mean, to think that they scored, right at the end, and then with 1 second to go on the 5-on-3. But we weathered it. A huge goal by Hugland, because we needed one to get the crowd going. And once that came, we picked it back up.
Sense and anger for both Knies and Stuggerud after being in the box, and they came back strong.
Yeah. They had no choice.
As a coach, do you like seeing a little bit of a physical game tonight? There's a lot of emotion with senior night, end of the regular season. Do you like seeing the feistiness out there?
I love to see the toughness, but not the stupidity.
Not stupid.
But yeah, I mean, that's an old physical group over there, and they were playing for a ton tonight, and we can't fuel the fire, and we haven't done that much this year either, and we let our emotions get away from us there for a few minutes, and then thank goodness we were able to overcome it. Because you can't do that in the playoffs, so maybe there's a lesson there.
Pretty cool to see Brodzinski and Johnson pick up goals on senior night.
Yeah, absolutely, and 2 monster goals for us to give you a little breathing room at the end. And Ryan's got a knack for that now. I mean, he's done that a few times.
I was going to say that all that time he spends on the rink by himself, does he work on that 175-foot shot?
I know he's got a few of them now. Great.
The go-ahead goal by Cooley, was that just a case of each of those guys on that line showing off a different skill?
Yep. And they, uncharacteristic, the 2 penalties that those guys took. But I thought Cooley was good both nights. I mean, I know that's kind of I don't know if that's a normal statement for me to make, but after coming off last week and the 6 points in last night, he only got 1 point. I thought he raised his game in a physical series. Thought he was real good.
What was it like to see that group of seniors out there just now? I mean, that's got to be a pretty special group for you. One of your first recruiting classes.
It's a real special group. I mean, they all got a great story to tell inside that room. We're a really close group, and it starts with that senior class.
Yeah.
They're tight. They're a very tight group.
You mentioned Hugland getting it going. Last night he makes a nice play and there's a poke check, and tonight in the first period he had another nice play and there was a poke check. Is he the type that gets frustrated, or is it built for him? Or?
He doesn't ever show it if it's inside. McCurth and Lamb could have had 6 between the 2 of them tonight. Like when they start popping for those 2, look out. And I thought they really raised their hand again tonight.
Justin's played both nights. What do you feel about that?
He's the backbone of our team. In a lot of ways, he's the heart and soul of our team. You can pretty much, whatever you write, you can pretty much write the same thing about him every single night.
Injury-wise, is the week off going to be good? Do you expect to have most of those guys available? Or what?
I think Pino, yes. Chesley, no.
Okay.
Let me get a report.
Yeah. Lacombe, you said it was maybe not as serious as you would initially
not going to be out as long as we thought.
Okay.
So, let's another whole week.
Yeah,
let's go another whole week and breathe. Okay.
What do you do during this week? What was the plan with the team?
Well, whatever we did going into Wisconsin, we're going to do that. So.
Okay.
We're gonna go on the road next weekend. We're gonna take it down to. We're gonna go down to Rochester next weekend. We're gonna play a inter squad. I'm sure we'll get a good crowd down there. We're gonna go down and practice. We're gonna be home for a month. So let's get out of town. Kind of do it. We have to replicate some game with some energy, some game type situations, and we're gonna do it not here. And we're going to have some good healthy practices as well. And then we'll know our fate after next weekend, and then start to get ready. We have to do everything we can to stay sharp.
We don't really talk about them that much, but how important are guys like John Middlestead and Strobel and Pinemi and Schmidt going forward?
Well, it's huge because you have to play 4 lines, and we tried to get them out there as much as we could this week in 2 very important games, for us, and they're coming. I think the whole, all of our young guys are taking another step forward in the last month, which comes in an unbelievable great time for us.
You're kind of worried about Brock coming in this week. He was telling you he's ready to go. You weren't sure. Is it a big relief to get through the weekend?
I was not worried. I was not worried. The only thing I was worried is that if he was not telling the truth to the trainer.
Right.
But he knows that he was ready to go, and you saw he was a battler out there. All right, thanks. You bet.
Thanks, Bob.
Bryce, for you personally on senior night, how did that feel to get one?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously special every time you score in this building. I mean, we've had unbelievable fans the entire year, and getting to score on a senior night was actually pretty cool.
You're not exactly neighborhood rivals with the Buckeyes, but seem to be a little grit there, a little fire between you two.
Yeah, I mean, it was a playoff game. I mean, they were fighting for a spot and home ice advantage, and we were fighting to keep them out of it. And we want to win every single game, and they definitely wanted to win that weekend. And so it was very intense the entire weekend. But those are the hockey games you want to be in.
You don't want to get down 2-0 ever, but what did that say about your team to come back the way they did?
Yeah, I mean, 5-on-3s are scary, and they probably could have scored 3 or 4. And Justin was unbelievable. Our PK was unbelievable. So they luckily for them, they scored with a couple seconds left in that period. And if that might not have went in, it could have been 0 goals the entire time. And so I thought we did really good coming back and staying focused. I mean, Knies and Snuggy were kind of down on themselves just for taking those penalties, but they stuck with it, and Knies got a big goal for us.
This team has seemed to find a lot of different ways to win games at the end. What do you think that is? What contributes to that?
I mean, I think we're also competitive. I think like end of practice, we always play games against each other, and no one wants to lose. I mean, guys get scored on and they're throwing their stick at each other and they're getting mad at each other. So it's just kind of that competitive nature that we all have, and we have a lot of goal scorers on our team, and so you combine those 2 things and goals start to go in.
You have a week off now. How do you carry the momentum into the semifinal game?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously tough. I mean, we kind of struggled the last time we had a week off, but we're doing kind of an inter-squad scrimmage next weekend, and so we're just kind of try to stick to the same routine that we've always been in, when we are playing games, and so just try to keep things simple and try to stay to our normal routine.
Ryan's legendary for all that extra ice time he makes for himself out there, working on stuff. How often do you see him working on that 175-foot, layup?
Yeah, I mean, it's not too often. I mean, he's definitely a guy that deserved that goal. So, not a lot of it going in for him this year, but last few weeks he's been getting them through it. So, we were all super excited when he got that one.
I think that's 3 now for him in his career from
Yeah.
like the far dot.
Yeah, that's he's just so gifted. That's just all it is. He's super good.
How exciting is it to see Hugo get on the score sheet tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's really big for him. I mean, he's one of our better players, and so we kind of need him in this playoff stretch, and we're super excited that he's getting going.
Your dad's been a big part of your hockey career. Did you guys say anything to each other during that senior night moment?
I actually told him I was kind of surprised he didn't have a St. Cloud sweatshirt on, so he thought that was kind of funny, and so it was obviously pretty cool. I mean, it was just kind of nice. He told me he was proud of me, so not too often you hear that from a guy who he's usually yelling at you for missing the net or not shooting enough. So it's pretty cool.
Do you do anything different, yourself personally during a bye weekend to kind of keep yourself fresh? What's your routine like?
No, I'm sort of the same every single week. It's just sort of get up, go to the rink, and we have workouts and then practice, and get out there early, shoot on the goalies, stay out late, shoot on the goalies, and kind of the same routine. There's nothing really different knowing we don't play in the weekend.
Did you get a good look at Knies' drop pass to Logan on that go-ahead goal?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like, if I'm in front of the net, there's no way I'm making that play. Like, shoot the puck, and then Cooley gets it, and he has nowhere to shoot it, and he still scores the goal. So it's like kind of ridiculous, like just how skilled they are. It's like not fair. Like it's not. It's like you just want to be on the ice with them as much as you can. So.
When you play the games at the end of practice, you try to make sure you're on their team.
Yeah, it's so coach picks like jersey colors for our lines every single day. So I try to play more games when I'm wearing the same color as them, and try to get off the ice early whenever I'm not their color. So.
Thanks, Bryce.
Oh, was Cooley barking at you to drop that back? Or was that just
He was actually. Yeah, he wanted me pretty hard, so I knew I had to there.
Were you thinking of shooting until you heard him, or?
Honestly, yeah, I was just driving it to the net, and I heard him call for it, and good things happen when it finds his stick. So yeah, it was a good play. Found the back bar, so it was awesome by him.
2-goal lead, the worst lead in hockey. They always say. Did you guys still feel all right, even though they get that one, early in the second there?
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty brutal penalty by me and Snugs there. Obviously, kind of lost a lot of confidence on the bench. So it was nice that we could kind of get back, to 5-on-5, get some control in the zone. Those 2 quick goals obviously gave us a lot of boost. And then we kind of found our game from there.
Did you have to get angry in that situation?
Yeah, I mean, I knew what had to be said. Obviously, it wasn't a good penalty. I had to apologize to the guys and work a little harder for it. Kind of get it back for us. So I think that's what we did as a line. I think we did that really well.
Was that between periods? Did you say something? Or?
Yeah. I mean, I honestly just apologize. That was kind of an angry moment for me, and stuff like that shouldn't happen. I shouldn't be taking myself out of the game. It shouldn't be, especially getting 5-minute penalties. So I apologized and kind of put my head down and went back to work.
This isn't really a neighborhood rivalry, Well, I'd say it's a long way from here, but there was a little grit between these two teams this weekend.
Yeah, I think this was a good battle, a good test, especially for playoffs. Obviously, they're a skilled team. Give them a lot of credit. They played really well. They have some skilled players, so I think it was really good battle for us, really good test, and just happy that we could come out with 2 wins from it.
Do you get any confidence from, you don't like to get down to nothing like that, but just being able to do that, to come back?
Yeah, I mean, you don't really see that often. The guys come back, especially when it's, within 10 seconds, we come back and tie the game. So that was wonderful for us. And, I think it was good for our confidence, especially in playoffs now. It's definitely, it's going to be a tight race, and we need all we can get.
Hugon gets stopped at the doorstep last night by a nice poke check. First period tonight, he gets stopped at the doorstep again by a nice poke check. Just how good did you feel for him to see him finally pop one there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked that he potted one. It was about time. He's gotten so many chances, and he creates so much for himself that it's about time that they fall for him, and I think that they're just going to keep coming now.
Given that it's senior day, how special is this older group on your team?
Pretty special. I love all those guys. They meant so much to us, especially Closer on the back end. How much he's carried us throughout this year, it's been incredible, and I expect all of them. Honestly, they've been such good guys on and off the ice. It's honestly sad to be a part of this day, to kind of see that it's their last game here. But what a wonderful group they are. They've meant so much to us, and really good leadership as well. I think they've taught me a lot on and off the ice, so I couldn't thank them enough.
Is there a senior that you've developed a bigger connection with?
I'd say Jackson Lacombe. I'm kind of always in his car, getting driven around. He's my chauffeur. He's always taking me everywhere. But yeah, me and him have been really close. I love always just messing around, and he likes to be one of the young guys. I think he tries to be as young as Cooley and Snuggie. And same with me. We try to keep that age in us. But yeah, he's been wonderful for me, kind of a role model and someone I've looked up to.
Do you feel kind of like an old guy on this team, or do you still feel like a young guy playing with those two freshmen?
I know I'm honestly an older guy, but I want to be a younger guy. I want to feel like a younger guy. I want to not always be the guy getting in trouble or doing the stupid stuff, but I always want to be around them. There's so much energy with those two guys, so I just love being around those guys.
Have you learned anything from the bye weeks about how to handle what's coming up? A lot of time off.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of experienced that last year. It's kind of a difficult situation, but we got to keep our competitiveness up in practice. That's all we can do. We can scrimmage. I know we're going up to Rochester here. Try to give each other a good battle. I think stay game ready. That's all we can do. It's kind of out of our control when it comes to these games, but we just got to be competitive in practice.
Your coach said the plan is to do the opposite of what you did before the Wisconsin series. What did you do before the Wisconsin series that you have to cut out now?
Yeah, I think we were just a little loose. Kind of rested our legs a little too much. I think we were a little flat-footed in the first period, so I think we just got to raise the intensity, be a little more physical, and I think that should work for us.
easier to raise the intensity with the crowds you've been getting here?
Yeah, it's been wonderful, honestly. Like, I think, Friday and Saturday night, the show out has been so supportive. Makes it so fun to play in here. Really good atmosphere these two past games.
Thanks.
See you guys. Thank you.